What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Let's see if anybody gets in the room. If you can hear me, let a brother know. And if you can see me clearly, let a brother know as well. Let's see what's going on. We got a couple of things to talk about. So, it's so funny when you start these lives and you kind of just waiting for people to get into the room, but you also got to remember that somebody who watches this later will probably see it from the beginning. So I can't just be sitting here, right? So until we see some people in the room that can confirm that, okay, perfect, I see. You can see and hear me clearly. Perfect, thank you. We're going to talk about a couple of things real quick, y'all. I'm trying to adjust this camera. What's happening? Hey, let us know where you're watching from in the chat. I see you in Orlando. Come on through. Hey. Okay, Miss James, thank you. Good morning. Well, it's morning on the Pacific time, so I know it's afternoon for my East Coast people, probably late afternoon for our European UK people, because we worldwide. Let's talk about it. Let's get into the concert real quick while everybody is still coming into the room. I need y'all to see this photo right here. Let me tell y'all something. I wasn't ready last night. I wasn't ready. I was not ready. Y'all know I went to see the Cowboy Carter tour last night, and to be honest with you, when you listen to this album, for me, it wasn't necessarily my favorite album. I thought it was really, really interesting and complex and had a lot of ambition, and it was like, it's an amazing album, but it's not like the album that I play on repeat or whatever. But seeing it live, it's a totally different perspective. Even if you see it in concert on YouTube, it doesn't really give you the bass and the sound that you hear when it is put into like a live show. It was amazing. Jay-Z came out last night. Shabuzi performed with her. There were moments that I thought that I would not be excited about, like certain songs that just, the show changed my perspective on the songs. And then when she brought Destiny's Child out at the end, like Kelly and Michelle, it was like, because nobody was ready for it. Like, I kind of figured when I heard Crazy in Love, I was like, Jay-Z's gonna perform, because it's like the last night. So I kind of had my camera ready when she started performing Crazy in Love, but the Destiny's Child one, that came out of the blue, right? So when they hit the stage, and let me tell y'all something. The thing that was beautiful about this show was when we first got there, first of all, I used my travel membership to book the tickets. I booked 5 tickets for me and some of my friends. I didn't know that they were gonna be club tickets. So there was like this little club section in the Vegas stadium. And so I was like, okay, this is lit. I didn't know we was getting all this. And the tickets were like super inexpensive. So we get inside, and like as the show is starting, let me tell you something. These people, there were people that were crying. And I understood it, because I think, and these were not like, these are people of all different like ethnic backgrounds and races and stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell you, I get why they were crying, because I felt like the meaning and the message of the tour was so like impactful. But it was just kind of crazy to see, like, people were so excited about it, and people that looked so different. That's what I really loved about it. But this moment with Destiny's Child right here, it was like, baby, let me tell you something. It was so fun. It was good. It was incredibly, it was a long show. So if you wanted to get your money's worth, you definitely got your money's worth, and then some. And seeing Blue and Rumi perform, and I knew it was people there. Like, so it was like Oprah was there, Gayle King, Kerry Washington, Tyler Perry, all of them was sitting up in this little section. And we could hear, like, I guess when they made their entrances, because people was cheering and stuff like that, but I didn't really know who it was at the time. But man, it was good. It was really, really good. So I would say, if you didn't get a chance to see it, definitely go see it, but it's done. So, but I'm sure they'll do some type of like tour like showing, like, you know, some type of showing at a movie theater or something like that. So I wanted to talk to y'all about that. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of Real Housewives of Atlanta news, because I know that's why a lot of y'all here. Where do we start, man? Where do we start? All right, so let's start here. Let's start here. All right. Let me tell you something. My outfit was so basic. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on. Somebody said they want to see my outfit. I'm like, honestly, I can't pull it up. I don't know how to pull it up in this thing. So my bad, y'all. I was gonna try to pull it up. I just wore a, cause I had so many things going on here. I was here for a conference. And you guys know that, a lot of you know, like, I work specifically outside of my work in this. I work in the travel industry, right? So helping people, you know, learn how to travel at 80% off, like getting travel discounts and stuff like that. So if that's something that you're interested in, you want to get paid to do it, you want to get paid to post about it, then definitely shoot me an email or hit me up. I've been doing this for about almost a year now. But anyway, so I had a lot of stuff going on for that. So I wore a black tank top, some jean shorts, and that's it, and some tennis shoes. Like, I wanted to be comfortable, but I felt like I looked appropriate. So when I posted on social media, I'll probably post it on my YouTube channel, in the community tab as well, so you can see it there. But it wasn't anything crazy. I didn't have a cowboy hat. I didn't do cowboy boots because I knew I wanted to be comfortable, and I'm glad I didn't, because when you leave the stadium here in Vegas, like, I'm gonna tell y'all something, it is a long walk. I mean, like, it's a very long walk, and you're standing up for the entire, I mean, we got to the venue at probably like 7:30. The show didn't start till like 9. It didn't end until almost midnight. So then we were walking for another hour. So I didn't get back to my room until like probably 2 in the morning. So I'm so glad I didn't wear any, I didn't wear any cowboy boots or nothing like that, because my feet would have been, that would have taken me out. And I didn't want to pack them in my bag, because I didn't really want to bring that much stuff. So it was sneakers for me, my Nike trainers. I was fine. I was happy with what I had on. So that's that. All right, Kenya Moore. So let's talk about it. And I'm gonna give you guys the real play. So for the past 2 days, I've had conference activities, and I told y'all this in my last video. So I knew that I wouldn't really be doing any reality related content for the past 2 days. So that was what, Friday and Saturday, because I needed to give my space some time to be in my business. Y'all know what I'm saying. So I knew things were going on. Like, for instance, we're not gonna talk about it really, but Brittany Renner was called out by former Love and Hip Hop Hollywood star Masika about getting involved in the Jackie Christie, Takari, and Chantel drama that was happening online that we had been talking about much of the week. I was gonna talk about it, but to be honest, I'm gonna be for real with y'all. In light of what I was here to do and my work, I kind of felt like the way they were going in on each other, it felt so low vibrational. And I think I was also just mentally drained and exhausted from the Chantel, Jackie, and Takari discussion, that I just kind of felt like I don't really feel like I have anything more to add to Masika and Brittany Renner going back and forth with each other online, because they were going to the depths of HE double hockey sticks. And again, I'm here for a travel conference. Let me let y'all know, like, I mean, this is where people feel good when they talking about travel. People feel like, they be feeling like, I mean, you know, it be up. The energy is just up, okay? So, yes, El Rey, they were eating each other up. I mean, they were eating each other alive, right? And I just felt like, honestly, I have to tell you, I was like, I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care. Maybe I would have cared if I wasn't working. Maybe I would have cared if we hadn't already given so much to the Jackie, Takari, Chantel situation. But I just kind of felt like, I don't have nowhere to go with this, right? Where does Masika and Brittany Renner go from here? Will it ultimately matter to the show that we're watching? Yes, I was trying to keep my vibes high, right? What does it ultimately go anywhere for the show that we're watching? Is it going to relate to Basketball Wives in the next episode? Is it going to relate to Basketball Wives in the future when we've already dedicated so much time to discussing the fallout between the trifecta of Jackie, Takari, and Chantel, especially when I feel like, honestly, the conclusion that a lot of us have come to is basically that y'all got some family trauma here, and I just want to call Jackie and say, Jackie, get your girls. Like, Jackie, get your girls off the internet at this point. Like, I am looking at Jackie like, girl, do something, because they battling each other over you at this point. So I'm gonna need you to step in. You or Doug, somebody need to step in and be like, I know y'all grown at this point, but I mean, keep the drama to the show. If you ain't on the show, and if you and I trying to like move forward, like we don't know what's going on. All we know from Ty and Brandy from their live is basically this, and I'm gonna tell you in case you didn't see it. They not filming right now. It's alleged, I mean, pretty much confirmed that they're gonna be filming a season 12B. Then there will be a reunion. So if they're not filming right now, I don't necessarily think, I mean, what we gonna do? There's nothing for us to do. So Masika and Brittany, y'all gonna have to just, right, housewife from a housewife, I'm traumatized too. Like, we all traumatized from afar. Like, it's just like, take me out that group chat. So that's that. That's why I didn't discuss it. I didn't have time. I didn't have the mental capacity. And to be quite honest with you, it is sunny in Vegas, and I was in a conference filled with happy people who were making a lot of money. That's all I needed to know. Okay. Like, and I was like, you know what? This is not something that's exciting to me anymore. Like, that part of it was not exciting. So, okay, Self-Sufficient AFTV. I love that name. Says DJRichieSkye, I believe it's Tammy Rivera, not K.Michelle. So I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are, and I'm going to tell you, you know, when you work in this space, you do hear a lot of things behind the scenes. And one of the things that I don't do is when someone tells me something, I do not repeat it until they specifically tell me that I can say something, right? But because this news is out, I would probably be leaning more towards K.Michelle than Tammy Rivera, based on just things that are being said up behind the scenes and in the industry. This is just what I'm hearing. But that's it. You never know. You never know until the show comes out, right? That's the final confirmation, or until the cast is officially announced. Because what we also know is too, somebody could film an entire season and they still could not make the cut, right? So you just, exactly, Daily Peach Housewives, it is a respect thing. It is a respect to the sources. It's a respect to the industry, the TV magic of it all. And I just think that I love, more than anything, as much as I love this, I love also building relationships with people that last far beyond what it is that I do on here. So just out of respect for them, out of respect to myself, and out of respect for y'all, I just try to keep it PC until I know that I can say something, right? Okay, so there's that. Now, this is a two-part conversation that we're going to talk about with Kenya, and then we'll move on a little bit. The first part is, of course, Kenya Moore goes live. And I told you, listen, her YouTube channel, in my opinion, is lit. I like the way she's rolling out her show. I like how she will sporadically pop in and give us some tea and a live. I think that she does it in a way that is frequent enough, but also infrequent enough that it's not all the time, but it's also like, okay, we can pretty much count on Kenya to come out and say something, right? Exactly, Ashley Rochelle. Taj's daughter says she filmed for Next Gen in NYC, stepping in to defend Riley, but it wasn't shown. So you just never know, right? So let's talk about Kenya. We now know, and I had heard this, and I figured when I heard the news, I kind of figured she wasn't coming back. But Kenya will not be returning for season 17, right? They do start filming in 2 weeks, based on what Kenya's saying, and based on some of the things that I've heard. Okay. Kenya goes into some detail about several things. We're going to get into the K.Michelle and the Pinky Cole, who is the CEO of Slutty Vegan. You guys have probably heard her name before in many circles, especially in the food and the vegan food space. And in case you haven't, at least you have now a visual to kind of put with the name. And of course, we all know K.Michelle. So when Kenya said that she won't be back for this season, Kenya also said that they're looking at 2 new people. And she said one of them is obviously a restaurant owner who is very, popular, obviously. And then she said one and the other is, and then she went to say this, quote unquote, but you know how we often joke that the show is becoming very Love and Hip Hop. She says, well, one of these ladies is actually from Love and Hip Hop. So when people started to try to guess who it could be, and someone said, K.Michelle, she said, well, K.Michelle is a good guess. Now, the Neighborhood Talk, when you read their caption, they also explicitly state that they had too heard that it was K.Michelle. I heard it was K.Michelle. But what I will say is this. The reason why I could see it being K.Michelle over anybody else is because we know that she already has a relationship with Bravo, NBC Universal. Now, I understand what you're saying because Tammy Rivera does as well, because she did this show with Eva Marcel on where they did the kind of like the girls trip to, I think it was Vietnam, with Nivea, Eva, and I forget the other girl's name. She's a comedian from the UK. She ends up leaving the trip early, spoiler alert. Okay. Who leaves the trip early? I'm not leaving. Y'all not running me off no trip. But it was to her. Honestly, I felt like it was her own fault. But anyway, that's beyond the point. So let's continue on. Let me just give you the tea straight up. So taking it back from Tammy, because I just don't see her on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I want to point out that K.Michelle is an interesting choice, in my opinion, because we know that she has the comedic timing. She has the one-liners for days. And to be quite honest with you, K.Michelle is a scene stealer. She is a scene stealer. And what do I mean by that? I don't mean that she's literally attempting to come in stealing scenes. What I mean by that is that she has a presence that oftentimes you cannot overlook, because she says what's on her mind. She knows television. She's done literally every type of television. So I just feel like she would be the more obvious choice for a person that may have more of a Bravo type of appeal. And let's not also forget, with Married to Medicine, we also have someone else who came over from a VH1 reality TV show who is now filming with Married to Medicine, that being Angel Love, who was previously on Basketball Wives. So, it's happening. It's happening. And I'm not mad at it. Now, I know that K.Michelle has a very busy touring schedule, so I would be interested to see how she manages to carve out time from the music that she is making Although I do think that being on the show would be helpful in terms of getting especially more eyes and ears on her country music, especially now that she is moving full force with that. I just think that it could be a very smart business play. I just wonder if we'll see a situation happen with K.Michelle, kind of like what we saw with Kandi in her last couple of seasons, where Kandi was so busy touring and doing all of the things that it just didn't really feel like Kandi had time for the show as much anymore. So that's, I think, the thing that I kind of would worry about with K.Michelle is, does she have time for this? Can she dedicate the amount of time necessary to film, do confessionals, go on cash trips, and really stick to it? Now, has she done it before? Absolutely, she has. We've seen her do it on Love and Hip Hop, but you know, her schedule is, again, jam-packed, and this is a demanding show. So I would just be interested to see how she works all of this out. And I would love to see how she interacts with the rest of the ladies, because again, her personality is big. And I'm just trying to, in my mind, figure out how she's going to relate to the rest of these ladies, especially when you have two other musicians on the show. Now, would I be upset if one of those musician connections was something that she kind of gravitated to, and that's how she was brought into the show via either a Shamea or for Drew? But let's break that down even further too, because Kenya Moore says she doesn't know if Shamea is returning. I would probably wager a guess that if Shamea did not return, it would be of her own accord. To be quite honest with you, sometimes I'm not sure I really understand why Shamea would do this show, because I feel like Shamea already has the money. She has the means, the capabilities, the finances to live the life of her dreams without really, like, because the stuff that she's dealing with Portia is, how do we feel about this friendship breakdown? I feel like there's no place left for this friendship to go but continue to go down. I don't see them going back up anytime soon. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out with the reunion. Okay? Also, let me know if you guys can hear me or see me. I can't see the comments as well. Somebody says there are new comments, but I just can't see them. So let me know if you guys can see or hear me clearly. All right. So that's that with regards to K.Michelle and the slutty vegan founder, Pinky Cole, joining the show. I don't really know much about Pinky Cole, so I don't really have any intel for you other than I think she's married, and that's pretty much about it. I would also imagine that we're probably only going to get 7 full-time peach holders. I've heard that everybody's been asked back, but will everybody make the cut? That's what I don't know. That's what I really don't know. So we'll have to see how that goes. Let me check online to see if I can see myself, because I don't want to be talking to, because I can't see the comments. So give me 1 second, y'all, before we go into the next thing. Because we got to talk about Kenya Moore and Cynthia, because we did get some tea on that. So stand by, y'all. Can y'all see the comments? Because I can't see them. I cannot see them. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, snap. It's crystal clear. Okay. I see it on my end, but I can't see your comments on the screen, so I'm going to keep this up so I can see your comments here. Okay. Perfect. All right. You guys can see me and hear me. Okay. Yes, please like the video. Please like the video. All right. Dang, that's actually really, that visual is okay. Okay. All right. Anyway, let me continue on. Okay. So Kenya Moore, she then reveals that the reason why she's not speaking with Cynthia Bailey is not because of what Cynthia said on the show about her and Britt Eady, but she alleges that Cynthia is not being truthful. She says that she is not friends with Cynthia anymore, or she's not really speaking with her anymore, I should say, because Cynthia apparently, allegedly, told some of her business or sent messages, some of her business to somebody else, and it was more or less to serve Cynthia than it was to either protect, I guess, Kenya Moore and her secrets or whatever like that. Essentially, Cynthia is out there running her mouth, allegedly, about some stuff that she shouldn't be running her mouth about, according to Kenya. And Kenya says that she found out about it, and that's just that. And she don't have the time or space in her life for people that do that to her. I'm trying to figure out how I feel about that. I mean, you know, that's up to Kenya's discretion. But my question is, does Cynthia know that that's why you're not speaking to her? Because I mean, I don't get the impression that Cynthia knows that. Or if she does know it, she is definitely doing one heck of a job pretending not to know. All right. So that's my only question about that situation. To be quite frank with you, I don't think Cynthia and Kenya should be friends. I don't think Cynthia and Nene should be friends. I think that Cynthia has been maybe she did it to herself. I don't really know. But there's a part of me that feels like Cynthia has been tossed around between these two ladies like a wet rag doll. And at a certain point in time, Cynthia, I think you need to get off the merry-go-round, period. I mean, because the core focus of her stories for the past couple of years, I mean, obviously she had the wedding with Mike, and we knew about that, and now she has the new romance with the guy. But between Cynthia and Kenya, just basically, I mean, ping-ponging her around, if I'm Cynthia, I mean, I'd just be like, okay, peace out, shorty. Like, do your thing, because at the end of the day, I mean, she has been. Y'all look at it. Cynthia's been tossed around. Like, I mean, it just don't make no sense how they've been. They drag her every time either one of them gets mad at her. They literally, I mean, what I do like about Kenya is at least, I'll say this. And again, it could be Cynthia. It could be Cynthia. We don't know. Cynthia just looks like the victim because she ain't the one. She ain't really the one. She presents herself as the person who don't really know what's going on. But to Kenya's credit, she reveals that she ain't never told any of Cynthia's business. So I have to respect that too, right? If somebody's out there telling your business, Kenya, I value this perspective. That don't mean that I'm gonna run out there and tell yours, because I just feel like that's not what people do. You gotta live by some type of code when it comes to friendships and stuff like that. And I feel like Kenya, if you feel like she's not living up to the code that you expect, bounce. And it goes for any of y'all. You feel like somebody's not living up to the same type of code that you got, bounce. We too old to be either A, teaching people how to be friends with us. I feel like nowadays people know what they're getting into when they're friends with you. That you know what you're getting into when you're friends with them. If you start to see signs that person is not living up to the expectations that you need as a friend, then life is too short for you to run around either continuing to be friends with them. If you've tried to already mend the situation, deuces, bye. We got money to make. Okay, we got money to make. What did Mel say? We got money to make, not friends to fake. Period. Actually, right. We may never know. We may never know the truth, because it's she say versus she say. So to be quite honest with you, my thing with Kenya is, are you telling us this before you told her this, or does she already know that you know? Next. Moving on. Kenya says she did not tell Portia that Drew was the person that fed her intel about Britt Evie. She says she don't know where Portia got that from, but she didn't say it. It wasn't her. Portia even was, and this is at least to Portia's credit. She says that Portia got on the phone with her and argued her down and told her, yes, you did tell me that. And Kenya's like, no, I did not. Am I living in an alternate universe? In what universe did I say that Drew did it? Now, the impression that I did get was that Drew told her something, but it was not what she showed. So, do I believe that Drew said something? Yes. Now, how much she told her, I don't know. Now, I don't know, maybe based on the semantics of the conversation, did Drew tell her about the tea and then Kenya Moore went and found it, or her investigator went and found it? Now, again, semantics, you got to listen to how she said it. I don't know. So, but it kind of calls into question, I think, a little bit about, like, I guess the question is for y'all. Do you believe everything that Portia says? That's the bottom line. Because it sounds like, I mean, honestly, it sounds like everybody's lying. And I don't know if that everybody being like, I mean, at least Portia and Shamia, like, I just feel like they both be, I don't know. I just feel like, can I trust either one of y'all fully? I never know. Powerful Kenya does play a verbiage game at times. Like, you have to, but a lot of people do. A lot of people do. A lot of people do. I'm reading y'all comments right now. Speaking of Drew, to be honest with you, with these two new ladies coming on, my worry is for Drew. My biggest worry is for Drew. And let me tell you why. Drew typically has an isolated storyline. Much of the reason why Drew was at the center of drama with the ladies was because of Dennis and the whole Dennis and Portia situation. Portia being angry at Drew for much of the season really positioned Drew as a bit of the underdog for a lot of us. And we kind of were always left wondering, well, why is Drew not here? Why is she not out doing promo? Why is she always late to the scene? Like, I mean, does she have an alarm clock? Who's managing that? Does she need a timekeeper? I really don't know. And let me say this. For me, if I were a producer on the show, if you are late to the scene, you can't enter the scene. We're packing up and we're done. Like, if every time you're late and you don't make it to a group event on time, the group event is starting and we're starting without you, and you're not going to be allowed on set. The reason why is because it is expensive to wait around for people. And I don't care how bad you say Atlanta traffic is. If you keep me waiting, and if you keep the crew waiting, I don't know if it's her fault. I don't know whose fault it is. I'm talking about, this can go for anybody. Anybody can get it. Anybody from Phaedra to Portia to Cynthia to Shamia to Angela to Kelly to K.Michelle and Pinky Cole. Any of y'all, you late to the scene, you not in the scene. Okay? And in fact, I'm not even paying y'all for the season. I'm paying y'all per appearance. So what does that mean? That means that by the end of the season, if you ain't make enough appearances because you couldn't get your time together, guess what? You out of a job. And I don't care who you are. Because at the end of the day, I don't know what occupation you can continue to show up at, unless your name is Lauren Hill, that people will still come out and see you. If you 4 hours late and you give not nary an excuse, or the excuses that you give, I don't want to hear. All I know is you show up late continuously, you will be X'd out. Period. Point blank, the end. Again, what other occupation can you at your job show up hours late and everything be okay? No, absolutely. Time is money and you wasting our time. You gotta go. You gotta go. Speaking of that, again, I worry for Drew because I just kind of feel like her position has been diminished. I don't know whether that's her fault, the network's fault, Ralph's fault, the basement's fault. I really don't know. All I know is that I felt like her presence was diminished this season. She was left dangling on the end of the couch. I don't know what else to say, to be quite frank. Because furthermore, what I would have done is I would have expected the moment that they knew that Britt wasn't there, I would have put Drew beside Phaedra, and Cynthia would have been the fourth person. Duh, that makes the most sense, right? I don't know. I'm looking at y'all comments. All right, so that's that on that. All right, I think we covered everything with regards to Real Housewives of Atlanta that I wanted to discuss. And again, I like this conversation because it's not something that we have beaten down to death. I mean, it's maybe the Drew situation a little bit, but we had to discuss it in the context of what we were talking about, right? But again, another reason why this is more exciting to me than talking about Brittany versus Masika, because again, that was just so low vibrational to me. All right. So I wanted to discuss really quickly Love and Marriage Huntsville because I did watch that this morning. Love and Marriage Huntsville, this was episode 2 of season 10. I think season 10. Oh my God. So to me, I felt like this episode could have been wrapped up into last week's episode, to be honest with you. I don't know why, I just feel like that. I mean, so much of the episode, I think, focused on Ken, Marquez, and Latricia. And I just felt like it was a continuation of what happened last week. So maybe that's why it felt more like episode 1, part 2 versus episode 2 specifically. I hope that makes sense. It may not make sense to you, but it makes sense to me as I say it. So bear with me, okay? There's a lot that I don't think I understand about Marquez and Latricia and what the objectives actually are for Marquez, other than for it gives Ken and Latricia something to do. Because Marquez, to me, feels a bit immature. That's how he comes across. Okay, I don't have a clue as to the man's maturity level in real life. I can only tell you what I see on the screen. So I just kind of feel like he likes to play a very gentle, like laid back role that is actually very aggressive in the way that he likes to seemingly push Latricia and Ken's buttons. But I do think that Latricia and Ken, specifically Latricia, has some blame in this situation as well. Because what you allow will continue. I don't know the mechanics about like what happened, how Marquez ended up in the house. Technically, did Latricia let him know that it was okay to come in? Did he follow the kids in the house? I'm unclear about that, to be honest with you. And maybe I blinked, I missed it. I was still half asleep when I was watching, so I really don't know. Maybe Beyoncé was still in my brain. Kelly and Michelle and Jay-Z and all the people were still in my brain. But please forgive me. So I could have missed it, and y'all will let me know as I'm looking. Okay. Yeah, I mean, in this episode, you see Latricia and Ken talking to Maurice and Kimmy about their relationship with Marquez. And we know that Ken has been trying to build a bridge with Marquez for the sake of keeping the peace. But ain't no peace because Latricia and Marquez still have some level of underlying tension that is very weird to me. Because I feel like for Latricia, like, girl, why are you so... I don't want Latricia to be so bothered by the things that Marquez does. And it's probably easier for me to say because I'm not in the situation, but I just think that I don't get the technicalities of the court documents, whether the court doc said we have kids or don't have kids, when reality we know y'all got kids. Is the divorce final? Like, what is Marquez's real objective here? He tells Maurice in another conversation that he feels like it was a mistake to marry Latricia. He stayed in the marriage for too long. His daddy knew it wasn't gonna last long. He don't want her. He stayed with her because he felt sorry for her. I mean, but so I'm like, if that's the case, if you don't want her, why, like, what are you here for? You know, like, why are you buzzing around them if you don't really want her? Like, what is your objective? What do you want from this situation? Is it just to be a good dad to your kids? Because that's possible without actually really needing to have that much of a friendly relationship with Latricia and Ken, other than whatever the court appoints for y'all designated meeting times and y'all agreeing on things that need to be said or done for the kids specifically. Outside of that, all of this extra drama has to be for the TV, because otherwise, what is it for? What are you guys fighting for? What does everyone want in this situation for me to feel like I need to care about what it is that you guys have going on? Because again, it always feels very juvenile to me. And I feel like what Marquez does is Marquez goes over to the house, he taps on the keys, he plays the piano on their nerves, and they allow it to happen. And now they brought in Miss Sharon, is that her name? To what, I don't know if she's there to officiate, is she there to referee, is she there to be a cheerleader? Like, what is her purpose? Because outside, unless she's a counselor, then I don't even understand her purpose in being there. Like, what is your purpose, ma'am? Are you the marriage and family counselor? Because if so, great. Like, let's get to the counseling because they need it. But otherwise, I don't know what the problem is. So the end result of this episode is that they all sit down together. Ken, Marquez, Latricia, Sharon. Is that her name? Is it Sharon? Okay. Anyway, they all sit together and they all going at it about some paperwork, and Marquez is like, you doing this to the kids, the kids are affected. And Ken is like, look at this paperwork. And you know, next thing you know, he's like, well, get out the house. Okay, I don't know what he said something. And all I know is that Ken is getting in that brother's face and he's like showing him the paperwork, and the camera goes to black because it sounds like they get to fight. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. I felt like somebody said something in the comments that I need to check on. Oh, okay. Thank you, Latoya. Says Marquez was dropping his daughter off. His daughter unlocked the door, and her hands were full, so he was helping her inside the house, holding her items for her. Okay. So yes, that's okay. Thank you for jogging our memory banks. Because in my mind, at that point, that don't really require that much conversation. Oh, I was just, listen, her hands were full. I'm just dropping the stuff off. I'm about to head out the door. I'll see y'all later. I'll call you if I need anything or whatever like that. Like, just leave. But I think to just be up in that lady's house when she lived there with another man. I mean, I know your kids are there. And if that is all it is, just drop them bags off, and actually knowing what you know about the situation with you and Latricia at this point in time, just be like, okay, baby, I'm gonna hold this thing, and you step your foot inside the door, and I'm gonna give you the next item and then I'm about to bounce. Or just announce it. Hey, Latricia, stepping inside real quick, helping baby out. You know, I'm gonna head back out. It was okay, good to see you. Because for real, if you don't want Latricia, you have really no purpose to be there. You don't like this woman. You don't want to be with her. Your daddy told you you weren't gonna be with her. You left her. You moved on. I don't really understand what anybody is fighting for at this point. And why don't none of y'all have no lawyers? Is that what I heard? Don't none of them have a lawyer? Like, I feel like a lawyer would have gotten this done faster. And I even felt like to me, Marquez was trying to proposition Maurice to be his lawyer, and Maurice is like, nope, I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole. I don't want to be in y'all business. That's it. Letitia and Marceau are still working on her office. I don't know much about building things other than a Lego set. But, you know, being in the real estate business just for a little bit, I definitely probably don't know as much as they know. But I don't understand why her office ain't been built yet. Is it done now? I hope to God so, because good Lord, how long does it take? Kimmy's stuff ain't done yet. So I'm just like, y'all probably should. I mean, I know y'all got to show the film, but get the building. That's all I got to say about it. You know, Letitia's son is going off to college. I think he's going somewhere in Michigan. I couldn't tell if it was Michigan State, University. University of Michigan. I really don't know. I went to Michigan State, but he's going off to college. So, congrats. Destiny is building out her workspace, which I enjoy seeing the building of this, because I think what sometimes is good to see people building things from the ground up. So many people have a problem being seen building their things. And I just want this to be a thing for you guys. Do not be afraid to build in public, right? And I know a lot of people say build in silence, but that's not for everybody, right? Everybody's story ain't that. Whatever your story is whatever your story is. Don't be afraid of humble beginnings, because when people see the progression, then it's something that they can aspire towards, right? So I'll say that. But the next scene that we see, the scene that we see with Destiny and is with Martell, and he's really talking about his relationship with Ariane and how he wants to take his time with her and really make sure that she is wife material. And when he talks about being wife material, he's basically like, all I could hear in my mind was, oh, you just want somebody to cook for you. Is that it? You want somebody to cook for you? Hey, Rakia G, thank you for the super chat. Rakia G sent a $19.99 super chat. I just want to say I see it. I can't highlight it on the screen for some reason because I'm doing this from my phone. If y'all want to know why I haven't done an upload while I'm been here, it's I did one upload from my Go Digital with Richie channel, and it took hours. Okay, so it's always difficult sometimes to do upload a video, so it's just easier to do this live from my phone. That's what I'm doing now. So in case you wanted to know. But I do see your super chat, Ricky. I want to say thank you for that as well. And I'm kind of looking, when I look down, I got my notes. I can see the chat on this phone right here. Okay. It seems to be that Martell's metric, or at least the prevailing ones that he's most willing to talk about on the show, typically fall into the realm of, does she cook for me? And does she give me the loving that I need when I need it, right? So it more or less seems as though the woman is there as more of a functional aspect of his life, and it doesn't always feel as though it's more of a relational aspect of his life. Like, what I mean by that is, what does this woman mean to you, right? What do you see in her as, oh my God, I love these things about this woman, other than her serving you? Because the value has to be in the person and not in, and I get it, some people's love language is acts of service. Maybe that is his only love language, but it gives, what is it that you love about the woman that she brings to you other than being your servant? And furthermore, I mean, at one point in time, he did call her a peasant. And so as Mrs. ATL and Stan says, does Martell have, no, that's not the question I want to holler. I don't know if he has his builder's license yet. I don't really know. Says peasant to housewife. She can't do the stuff his ex can. Here's the thing. Given that he is still saying that he thinks about this, you know, essentially melody every day, that's essentially what he was saying. It's like, that's gotta sound crazy to your future potential wife. I mean, maybe it doesn't, because I mean, like, she was technically the former mistress, but I guess the bottom line is, you should take your time, okay? Because are you the husband that she would need as well? Because we learned that he is putting her and their child and her other, I guess, does she have another child? I don't know. In his rental property. So I'm assuming he's bringing them to Huntsville, I would assume. Or did she already live in Huntsville? I apologize. I don't really know as much about her and her whereabouts and her dwelling, but it just does make me wonder, how do you showcase Martell's actual life without showcasing her? But then the second question is, because that's the reality. If that's his reality, that's his reality. In the past 2 episodes, he has spoken specifically about her. So do audiences, you, the viewing public, want to see her? He even then goes on to say to Destiny, you like, basically that he could help her in learning how to be the type of woman that a man would make into a wife. And she can't help but laugh. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know any woman in like that. I mean, I don't know many women that live in 2025 who sound like they would just want to be like a Stepford wife, because that's what it feels like he wants. But people can want what they want, right? If she's okay with it, if you like it, girl, run with it, okay? That's all I got to say about that. But I don't think, Destiny, you should be taking any advice from him. No, not about that, okay? So yeah, that was the episode essentially. Again, it felt like episode 1, part 2, more than it did like episode 2. I felt like I was missing something that I felt like was needed in the episode. Or maybe they just want to, I think because so much of it was focused on Ken and Latricia and Marquez drama, that I just kind of felt like it overshadowed what the characters that I really wanted to see, things that I really wanted to see. And I just don't understand Ken and Marquez and Trisha. I don't really understand their dynamic. So hopefully by next week, we'll see a little bit more in terms of, yeah, I want some drama, you know, but I wanna have stories that I feel like I can connect with. and I don't connect well with Latricia Ken and Marquez's story. I just don't. So that's what I think about it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. We have definitely gone longer than I intended to. My goal today is to relax, spend some time by the pool, in the hot tub, get a little workout in, probably before, maybe I'll work out, I don't know, depends on how I feel. And then go to a birthday dinner tonight. So I doubt I'll be doing any more videos today. If I do, it'll be from my other channel. But with that being said, listen, Ashley Rochelle says, I'm not watching, but these reviews will do. Kat says, no, you know the thing missing is Mel. Niecy Smith says, I don't want to see Ariane on the show that Mel pitched, produced, etc. And yeah, I try not to. Here's the thing. Obviously, the elephant in the room is there is a Mel missing, right? Mel is not on the show. So I try to respect the fact that I felt like, you know, when she departed the show, I felt like that had to be a situation where it was a bittersweet thing from something that you helped create. So I try to respect the fact that she has to move into a new era for herself. And I also try to balance that with the respect that there are still cast members on the show who were there in the beginning as well. And the fact that, you know, fans still want to see the show and see where it goes. And, you know, the fans also want to support Melody. So it's a little bit of a balancing act, but I do feel like it's possible, right? You can see on her social, she's got other shows that she's coming up with as well. But I do think you hit the nail on the head with the situation with Ariane and Martell. How do you bring her on? Do you bring on Ariane on the show that Melody started with this original group? How does that work? But then the other half of that question is, how do you cover Martell's story without necessarily showing her, who is now a part of his life in this way? It's just a weird situation. I mean, there's no other way. I mean, that's the reality of it. There's no way to tap dance around it. That's what it is. That is where we are with the show. So I'm interested to see how things maneuver moving forward. I think that the season for me is off to a slower start, but maybe more slow because episode 2 wasn't as jam-packed as episode 1 with regards to the people that I really want to see. So there's that. Mark MacArthur asked, what's my other channel? My other channel, I have 2 other channels. One is, well, the one I'm talking about is Go Digital with Richie. I'll put the link in the description of this video. It's basically for people who want to, essentially, my goal is to help aspiring content creators grow and monetize their YouTube channels from day one. So if you are someone who wants to make money on YouTube or in content creation specifically, I help you position your channel so that you can start monetizing the day that you start your channel. Now, do you need to grow that? Absolutely. But the only way to do it is to create content. So that's what I specifically do on that channel, because ultimately what I see right now is, especially when I was like promoting my trips, is that people would want to go on these trips, but they would be like, oh my God, like I want to go, but you know, I need to be making more money. And I've seen where people also were like, oh my God, like I just lost my job because of everything that's happening, like in, you know, I try to stay far away from politics on this channel because for a lot of different reasons. But I know that people need money. I know that people need to make income. So my goal is, it's free content for you to just literally grow and go. Learn and earn. Do your thing. Charge what you're worth. Make some money and help other people and provide value. That's it. That's the channel. It's called Go Digital with Richie. Period. Let me see. Let me see if I missed anything else. I think I covered everything. And listen, I did want to be like, I hope I didn't come across as low energy today. I really just kind of wanted to take my time and go through the stories. And I was like, I was exhausted last night when I got in from that concert. So I'm just trying to balance myself. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate you. I really do. I'm just looking through your comments right now to see if there's anything else that I needed to address. Nicole says, do you feel it is more scripted because it's definitely rewriting their history without Mel? Nicole, I don't think it's more scripted because they're rewriting their history without Mel. What I think is that the show is probably choosing to be courteous to the fact that she left. And I think that the best way for them to move forward is, because if they mention her, then it's going to be a situation where people are saying, y'all can't have a show without mentioning Mel, right? Or that her name keeps coming up. So I think it may be more of a respect thing. Like, we're going to respect her decision to move on, and we're going to try to move on as best we can with what we have now and push forward. Because I feel like we all know that he was married, Martell was married to Melody. We all know that she was in the comeback group. We all know that she and Martell pitched the show. We all know all of those things. So I just think that it is probably the show, the cast, and the production's way of respecting the fact that she has chosen to move on. That's what I would imagine. But I haven't had any conversations specifically about that with anybody, but I do plan on doing some interviews, and maybe we'll see how the cast feels, and we'll see if that is really the case, because I will be doing some interviews once I get back. Did you say we'll see Kenya on Love Island? Miss AT, I'm cracking up. All right, let me just see if I missed anything. Any other questions? Cass says, I don't believe in serving a man. I've been happily married for years. All right. Okay, I don't think I missed anything specifically. Okay, so listen, it's Sunday, y'all. Hopefully, wherever you are, the weather is absolutely beautiful, and that you are able to just get some rest today, do something fun, spend some time with your family, read a book. Just enjoy yourself, because as we all know, life is short. Martine D says, are the ratings low? I didn't know. Carlos is not. I don't know. I'll see. And to be honest with you, I'm probably gonna hit up Carlos to see if he'll do an interview. We'll chop it up and we'll discuss. It has been a minute since we've had a chance to sit down, because I typically will try to interview him around the show when it's premiering. So I'll see if I can hop on his schedule if he has some time, and we'll chop it up and we'll ask him some questions about Love and Marriage Huntsville specifically, because I like to be able to ask and get the questions directly from the source's mouth, right? And so we'll see what we can do if we can get him on. It's a heat advisory in Virginia. Oh Lord, y'all be careful out there. Again. And you know what? Let me tell you another thing too. I love one of the reasons. If you guys notice on my channel, and it's no disrespect to any of the other shows, I typically talk about the shows that feature the African American cast, because I just feel like these are the shows, like we need to highlight these shows. We need to highlight the shows with people who hire, casts who are African American, who feature African Americans. And I know sometimes we do get into discussions about the drama, but at the same time, I feel like the purpose in having these discussions is so that we can continue the conversation. My goal is that the shows thrive. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to come at you I feel like when you do this job, when you in the content creation space and you're talking about these shows, for me, you got to come from it. You got to come at it from a space of, am I helping this situation? Am I doing something that feels meaningful? And are we doing it in the best way that we possibly can? You know, are we highlighting these shows? Are we doing it as service or disservice? Because I see a lot of comments out there that will be like, oh, they just need to cancel this show or that show. And I'm like, no, they don't. If you don't enjoy a show, then you don't watch it, right? That's the best way for it to, I don't watch nothing I don't like. We need to keep talking about these shows so that they make more shows. Because if we stop talking about them, if we say that they need to cancel every show, guess what happens? We don't have nothing to watch. We don't have shows with people that look like us on them. So I'm just not of that mindset. So I do like to support the shows. That's just me. I know, Nursey Nurse. I did get some sunscreen downstairs, so I'm gonna put some sunscreen on when I go. I always have some sunscreen on my face, but I definitely have some for my body. I'm definitely gonna use some. I kind of just want to sit and lounge in the hot, like they have a little hot tub area at the pool, so, and it don't really feel like it's that hot. It's really just like warmer than the pool because the pool is extremely cold. I do not like extremely cold water like that. All right, so listen, y'all, thank you for tuning in, tapping in. I appreciate y'all so much for just being in the building with me for a little bit. As y'all know, I always say it, I love y'all. My appreciation knows no bounds with this whole situation because y'all could be doing anything else, but y'all chose to be here with me. So again, I appreciate that. Make sure you guys keep it locked to the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Definitely subscribe to my other YouTube channel, Go Digital with Richie. The link will be in the description of this video. Especially if you want to make some money in the content creation space, if you want to just start to thrive in the rest of 2025. I mean, because the best thing that we can do right now with everything that's happening is to get our money up, do our thing. One of the best ways to do that is content creation. Even if you got another job, I would highly suggest it because it is a great way for you to make some additional income. Some of it can be passive, and you can also turn that into residual income as well. So that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.